What's up, guys? Welcome to part two of my $100,000 net eBay business. There was a lot of questions from the first episode, so I'm going to make a second episode and answer a bunch of those questions and be a little bit more specific. I realize that it's sort of my fault that people aren't able to figure it out, so I'll try to be as specific as I can in this video. Let's get into it. So the main question was, how do I have power in a storage unit? So I actually do have a unit with power. However, I used the Yeti 400 power bank before that, and you can just charge this at home and bring it with you. It's pretty heavy. It's overkill for reselling. You can get one with a smaller capacity, but I'd rather have more power than I need just in case. So now I use it for camping, and it's in my bug out kit in case I need to, in case there's a zombie situation. I really like this Uline craft paper. I wanted to update people with this. You can just pull it out for what you need. The reason why I like that is because I ship a lot of shoes, mostly shoes, and that can protect the shoe just as well as bubble wrap, and it takes up less space inside the poly mailer. So switching to craft paper instead of bubble wrap, this is relatively inexpensive from Uline. And I sort of went over 5 things that I do that I want to go over in this video, and how you can really use that to build your business. It really comes down to sourcing is really the main thing. All your business is based off of what you actually buy. So I am looking at wholesale websites right now for shoes, and I basically want to spend around 30 hours a week looking for stuff to sell. Now I've organized that into sprints. So how we're going to do it is I'm going to look for things 3 hours at a time, and I'm going to do that 10 times a week. So about 30 hours a week for me is looking for stuff to sell. Now, I'm not looking for really one-off deals, so I'm looking for suppliers. So I'm looking for long-term relationships like this company online, this website, and just reach out to them and try to develop something long-term. That way I don't have to go source, which is the second part here. In case you are not researching online, you can just go shopping. And I put in here, you're looking for 100 items that are $10 or more profit. That's your $1,000 a week goal, which is the main goal. Most people want to make $1,000 a week net and quit their job. So if you're not researching replenishables, then you're probably just sourcing or shopping. So that's part B. So once you're done sourcing, you need the list. So I recommend 1 to 2 hour sets, and the reason is because if you list for less than an hour or two, you don't actually get any momentum. So make sure that your listing space is clear. I have 2 phones now just to make sure that in case one is not working. I have a 10-foot long cord for charging. And so I can bring this over to the clothing box if I'm listing clothing, or, basically, having 2 phones, and neither of them are connected to the internet, which makes it awesome for being in a distraction-free zone. This 10-foot cord, though, is a huge hack. And also, all the links to all the supplies I use are in just one link. So again, the first part of reselling is sourcing. The second part is listing. The third part is just having some accountability, and the fourth part is shipping and customer service. So what a lot of people do is they wake up, do shipping and customer service, and they don't do any listing, and they don't get any better at sourcing, and they wonder why their resale business sucks, because it doesn't have good stuff in it, and they don't have a listing habit. So I just realized now that the main reason why people are not good at listing is my fault. And the reason why I say it's my fault is because you need to train. Okay, in order to be really good at something. I wrote down in my journal that, let's see here, it's up here. Okay, training. I am grateful for training. The best people in the world train the most. But here we have people who want to quit their job and resell for a living, and they have 0 training when it comes to actually listing. Listing is a skill. You've got to practice getting things ready, photographing them, and actually listing them. Sourcing is a skill. You've got to practice shopping. You've got to practice looking for items online, practice talking to suppliers. These are hard skills that you have to learn. So in here, I realized that it's my fault that I need to make the training better for everyone so they can get really, really good at this. So let's talk about the accountability for a moment. I have a call every single morning at 6 a.m. If you guys want to join, you can join for a month for free. Otherwise, it's $125 per year. It's very cheap. But the accountability portion of this is I want to show up and ask people, what did you do today? How did it go? What went wrong? And part of that accountability is the daily journaling. So here, I'm going to give you guys an example of how I do this. So you talk about what you're grateful for. So for me, I'm grateful for low overhead. And what that does is I don't have a lot of bills, so I have a lot of financial mobility. I can do almost anything that I want. And I'm super grateful for that. So every time I'm thinking about buying something, I realize I would rather have the mobility than whatever it is. Number two, I'm grateful for training and coaches. I make a list of what I want to get done. So today I wanted to run a 5K, already did that. Listing 30 items, already did that. I'm making this YouTube video right now. I'm going to research recipes, plan a trip, and my workout I'm doing this afternoon. And then I'm spending 3 hours with no phone with my wife later. You have to have something to look forward to. I think a lot of resellers don't have anything to look forward to, so they just take all day and are not that productive. But for me, I have a lot of things that I want to do. I need to resell in a really short amount of time so I can get to the good stuff. Positive affirmation, I will make training to help people build quality habits and routines. That's what I want to do. And I realize it's not that easy to have discipline. You need to practice that with repetition. This is a good quote by Dr. Seuss. Be who you are and say what you feel. Become those who mind don't. Oh, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. That's pretty solid advice. My good deed today, I planned a hike and picnic with friends. And I wrote down here, social media is emotional media. It's not actually that social. Like you're on there. A lot of it is just comparing yourself to other people and just liking. That's not really that social. So I've just put call a friend. So my good deed today was planning a hike and picnic with friends. We're not really going. We're trying to plan stuff that's outdoor right now. Okay, how I'll improve. I'll commit to practicing sourcing online. I'm actually going to add to this online daily. So I'd like to do that. Really, really improve on what I'm looking for. Down here, great things I experienced today. I'm researching knives for my bug out kit. Confidence is built with repetition. And today I crushed tasks. And then I went for a great run with Sonia. So I'm doing a daily running practice. And also I'm doing the squat every day thing. So I'm really enjoying that. And that's why I decided I like reselling. So I might as well resell every single day. But the running practice, I'm finding it so much easier with a coach. So I'm using the Nike Run app, which is free, and I'm doing speed interval runs. Thank you to the comment section in my last video. People recommended interval runs. So I have 3 different coaches that I'm following, Sonia, Sally, and Ellie. They are all like Olympic athletes, so it's really cool just listening to them on the app while you actually run. And that actually made me think to myself, I need to be the trainer for everyone who is reselling. That's my job. I've decided that I want to be a reselling influencer. Well, then it's my responsibility to teach you guys how to kick ass at listing every single day. Okay, then this daily squat practice, I actually just hired a trainer. So Mark should come in here and help me do this. My main objectives are to run really fast, avoid injury, and dunk a basketball. So hopefully Mark can help me. I love this daily squat thing. It's really fun, and it's making it so I'm basically never sore. So I love it. And of course, I'm not doing max repetition on any of those. I don't think you should max repetition anything. So I think 15 listings should be easy for you if you guys train. And the way that I want you to train is every day, write down what you're doing. So these are my processes inside here. Here's an example. My shipping process, you go over how you do something. Inside of my guide, which you guys can buy, I'm working on updating it. It's taking a little bit longer than usual. You can get it with code for $35 with code YouTube. But it's just how I do it. And honestly, you still need to make your own. You can't just copy mine because everyone's business is slightly different, but it's also not that complicated. Reselling is pretty straightforward. It should only take you about 10 minutes to get a listing up once you are, once you have your photos down, how you list, how you ship. So ideally, on my clipboard, I put that listing should be 1 to 2 hours. Okay. And then finally on this list, shipping and customer service is mandatory. You have to do that anyway. It's the least important thing. If you want to run an online store, you have to do the shipping and customer service part. That's not optional. Okay, so you have to do that every single day, but it's not important. It's urgent, but not important. What's important is getting really good at meeting suppliers online so you can get stuff delivered to you. Getting this listing habit of listing minimum 15 items a day. So I put here 7 sets of 1 to 2 hour sessions. Now, if you're feeling froggy, you could knock out all 7 sessions right in a row in 1 day. Okay, I'm gonna probably try and do that. I was actually thinking about trying to list for 24 hours straight because I kind of admire those people who run 24-hour races, just because, you know, I admire that they're able to battle themselves and just knock it out. But anyway, my point is, the most important skills of sourcing and listing, most people just ship and call it a day. So think about what you do every day. Make a little list of what's important to you. And again, most of my stuff is in the reseller field guide. If you guys want to help support the channel, it's $35 with code YouTube. But pretty straightforward. Keep your workspaces really clean. Last thought, donate an item a day. You can see I don't really this bag is empty, but if you want to get that habit of donating one thing a day, eventually your stuff will be, your workspace will be clean and clutter free and won't have any items that are not listed. As long as you consistently list and donate what you're not going to list. Last thought, do have 3 more of these boxes. They're 78 inches tall, something like that, 4 feet wide and about 3 feet deep. I have 3 left. These are open box returns. So I bought, a dozen of these from the manufacturer. You'll notice mine doesn't have a brand. There's a whole bunch of different companies who private label this, but I just bought it directly from the manufacturer. One of the reasons I did that is I want to practice talking to suppliers. Okay, so that's important to realize too. It's a lesson in of itself. You definitely want to practice talking to suppliers. All right, guys, everyone have a wonderful day. Smash the like button, comment, and consider subscribing if you want more tips on how to build a business online. Thanks, guys.